All right, y'all. Welcome back to Divinity. We are here with another weekly video. Okay, so today's topic is going to be quite different than what the prior weeks have been. But this week, I'm actually just going to share with you all a download that I received through the Dream State. So, with the full moon that's happening in Aries right around the time in which I post this video, we're all being asked to sort of close something out with full moon energy. But then Aries is also like the first sign of the zodiac. So, it's asking for us to start something too. You might feel like a fire is being lit up under your ass, for lack of a better term, but that's exactly what it might feel like at this moment. But also feeling a little bit restricted and not necessarily having all the answers on where exactly to take off or how it's all going to happen or how it's all going to come into fruition. So before we even dive into the dreams, I just want to say that dreams are something that are super important, right? Like a lot of the times we're getting messages and we're being shown things in our dreams for a reason. So it's super important that if you do not have a dream journal, I recommend that you start putting one on your phone. Like I have one in my notes app, and as soon as I wake up from the dream, I'll try and like take note of what happened. But you might find it super significant and you might see patterns too in your dream state, but you can learn a lot from the things that you're dreaming about. So definitely take note of those things. Okay, so now let's dive into the dream I'm going to talk about. Today's video is going to be called All Roads Lead to Rome. So I did have this dream, and not to get too much into specifics, but in the dream, I was talking to one of my friends after being in an area that I've never been in before. And I looked at her and I said, the doors are now open to Rome. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, what does that mean? The doors are now open to Rome. So to me, I woke up and immediately I was like, okay, hold on. Something about there being a pathway that is now going to, be available for me to like step into, right? That's immediately something that I took note of. But then I was watching the show, Emily in Paris, great show. And we all know that it's about Emily in Paris. But I ended up being on like the last two episodes of, I think, season 4. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but I believe it was season 4. And Emily is now all of a sudden in Rome, right? She meets this Italian guy. She's in Rome now, right? And the name of the final episode happens to be All Roads Lead to Rome. And I saw this episode in the matter of 24 to 48 hours following having that dream about the doors being open to Rome, right? And so come on. Is that a coincidence? Really? Like, no, right? It's something super significant and it's something that's being highlighted for a reason, right? So let's talk about it. When we hear the term all roads lead to Rome, that literally comes from the fact that Rome was built with so many roads around it, like a network of roads that literally are all leading to the center of Rome, right? And so at the end of the day, doesn't matter which path you take, you're going to end up in the same destination. And that's what we're going to talk about here, right? We're all so concerned about getting to our goal, right? There's always that next mark that we're trying to get to, right? That destination. And we oftentimes like shame ourselves for parts of the journey, right? Let's talk about the fact that oftentimes we will literally have decision paralysis about what to do or where to go or how it's going to happen, and ask ourselves all these questions that just keep us stagnant rather than taking the first step, simply because we're afraid to mess up or go the wrong way, right? And so I want to talk about how we need to start respecting our journey and those of other people, right? We all are going to take different paths. I might go down this road and my friend might go down the other road and my mom might go down the other road. But at the end of the day, the idea is that we're all working to get to our own destination, right? And it is okay on what road we take to get there. So one thing that I have learned a lot along the way is that there isn't one correct way to go, right? We all have our own path and our own journey, right? And someone next door might not understand why you need to take that path. Sometimes we might not even understand why we need to take that path, but we're just following that intuitive nudge, that intuitive guidance that tells us this is the path I am supposed to be on right now, right here in this moment, right? And so, I find myself feeling like, okay, well, what's next in life, right? In my own life at the moment. Probably that's what that dream was telling me. It's like, girl, don't worry. The doors are opening. You just need to walk through them and not worry too much about what happens when I take that step. What happens when I walk through the door? Well, how will the next thing like follow? Right. And it's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't see all of the road, but what you do see is the beginning of the road. And you just got to hop on it and trust and believe that it'll still lead you to Rome, right? And so that's kind of the energy that I have been in and some of the things that have been circulating through my brain in the past couple of weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you all are in the same energy, right? Oftentimes when we're entering this season shift, we're going with it. And it's asking us to sit with ourselves and hibernate so that we can be ready to go when the spring comes and go zoom and like take off, right? Your soul knows your path and no one else. And even when the ego feels like, what is going on? Your soul knows the path. And so even if you are super concerned, and again, with decision paralysis about what is next or what has already happened, right? Stop. step into a place of stillness, step into a place of trusting and surrendering, right? Surrendering is super hard. I've struggled with that myself. As a Gemini, my brain is constantly going off, but it's super important that you surrender at times. So how does surrendering help us get to Rome? For now, Rome is going to be whatever your destination is, but how does surrendering help us get there? So decision paralysis can keep us stuck and can keep us stagnant and stopping from going to the next thing because we're so worried about the what ifs, right? But surrendering is saying, I have full faith and full trust that no matter what happens or what follows, it is still getting me to my final destination. And that is the energy that you want to tap into at this very moment. Even if you feel like there are a lot of unknowns, right? Just trust in yourself, right? And that little thing that flew by, confirmation, trust in yourself, go with the flow, right? Go with the flow. You will get where you need to go. Just take that first step. And even if you don't know what that first step is, because girl, I got that dream and I still don't know what the first step is. Where's the door? But listen, even if you don't know, trust and believe that it'll present itself to you in divine timing. Trust and believe that it'll come to you when you need to, right? Sometimes it's just that sign, like the way that the Netflix episode was all roads lead to Rome after just having said that in my dream, right? That literally is confirmation. We'll have a video coming up soon where we're talking about, how to communicate with the universe and, what are signs and how do we interpret them, right? How do we communicate with our guides and things of that sort? But trust and believe that you are being led and you are being guided by God. So allow yourself to fully trust and lean into it, right? Don't work against the universe and say, oh, but that doesn't make sense for me because I don't see how that logically adds up. Let me tell you one thing. As a Gemini stellium, I'm always trying to go off of logic. But the other part of it, the duality of it, is that we need to balance that within our intuitive nudge. Because if it's always about logic, then we can always sit there judging the next person's path and the next person's journey, right? When the reality is that that person might have to go through that journey and that path because they need to learn a certain thing, or they need to grow in a certain area, or they need to experience that certain blessing. You let those people go down their path and you support them while you go down yours because you would want that in return, right? There's no need to try and, move through logic only in this world. Everything with balance. Trust those intuitive nudges. Trust those little things telling you take that leap of faith or take that step, even if it doesn't make logical sense to you in your brain right then and there in that moment. Like, how will I afford this? Or how will I get there? Or, how will I feel safe? Or whatever. We're not telling you that there's a safety net there, right? But trust me, there always is. And that those are your guides, right? They are the safety net. You might not fully believe in that just yet, but trust and believe that there is a safety net there for you always. Just jump. Literally, just jump. Like in Divergent, I'm getting that scene in Divergent. Divergent is like one of my favorite movies where Trish comes up to the thing right before she's about to join. What's the name of that group? Right before she's about to join Dauntless, right? And so she takes the leap of faith and she fully jumps down and doesn't even know that there's a net there, but there was, right? That's the type of energy of what all roads lead to Rome is asking you to do. Be okay with jumping even when you don't see that there is a safety net there. Even when you don't feel fully like, at all of your concerns and fears and everything is like checked off. Like, don't worry about it. Just jump and go for it because you might be missing out on something by not doing that, right? And so again, super important that you are giving yourself grace and compassion on your journey and taking the step when you feel called to and guided to it. But even when you feel stuck, just wait and surrender. The sign will become clear. Communicate with your guides. They will let you know what is next in your journey. A big part of it is surrendering the need to control timing. Oh my gosh. Divine timing. I should just have a video on just talking about divine timing. But divine timing is so, so real, right? Because I could have self-sabotaged something if it didn't happen in the timing in which it did. And you need to start trusting in divine timing a little bit more. I still struggle with that. So I'm telling myself that right now as I'm telling you all that too. But just trust and believe that everything flows in the time in which it is meant to. So allow for that to play out. Okay. But again, like I said, allow the universe to do its thing. Co-create with the universe. I know you guys have heard me say that probably in every single video, but work with the universe, right? Instead of working against it. They are guiding you. They are giving you those nudges. Follow them. And even when you feel confused, that means that you don't know just yet. Just hold on. It will become clear in due time, right? Okay. So again, all in all, super important that you are giving yourself grace and compassion on your journey, that you are not shaming yourself for the way that things have been and the fear of where they might go, right? Just trust and believe that all of the roads that you can possibly take will still get you to Rome. And that is it for today's video, folks. Thank you.